Before the Europeans carved up Africa, and before colonialism reshaped the continent, there stood empires, mighty African empires with armies, diplomacy, and ambition. One of the most feared and admired among them was the Oyo Empire. Known for its unmatched cavalry, disciplined politics, and sprawling control across West Africa, Oyo was no ordinary kingdom. It was a military powerhouse, a political machine, and a symbol of African strength. In this video, we explore how Oyo rose, how it ruled, and how, like many great empires, it eventually fell. The Oyo Empire was born in the heart of present-day Nigeria. Founded by the Yoruba people, its legendary founder Oranyan was the son of Ududua, the ancestral figure revered by the Yoruba as the progenitor of their civilization. According to oral tradition, Oranyan established Oyo after departing from Ile-Ife, and by the early 14th century, it had begun to grow. Positioned in the open savanna north of the dense rainforest, Oyo was uniquely situated for something rare in much of Africa: cavalry warfare. This would become the secret to its rise and dominance. Unlike many African kingdoms that fought on foot or used naval forces, Oyo mastered the use of horses. Horses were brought from the north through trade routes linked to the Trans-Saharan network. The empire trained an elite force of cavalry, able to strike fast and hard across vast territories. These warriors, known as the Eso, were not just soldiers. They were a military nobility, disciplined and deeply respected. With its force, Oyo expanded rapidly, subduing neighboring kingdoms and establishing tributary states across Yorubaland and beyond. Its power even stretched as far as modern-day Togo. Oyo wasn't just powerful because of its army. It had a sophisticated political system that balanced a monarchy with checks and balances. At the top was the Alaafin, the emperor, whose authority was significant but not absolute. He was held in check by a powerful council called the Oyo Mesi, a group of noble elders who could even remove him from power if he ruled unjustly. This political tension ensured that power was shared and rulers were held accountable, an African version of constitutional monarchy centuries before such systems became popular in Europe. Although Oyo was an inland empire, it exerted control over coastal trade by dominating key cities and vassal states like Ajas. Through these ports, it controlled access to European goods and traders, including firearms and luxury items. The empire taxed commerce, maintained diplomatic relations with the Portuguese, and managed trade networks that connected it to both the Atlantic and Trans-Saharan economies. Unfortunately, like many powerful kingdoms of its time, Oyo became deeply involved in transatlantic slave trade, capturing and selling people in exchange for weapons and goods. This would later contribute to its internal instability and eventually decline. No empire lasts forever. In the late 1700s and early 1800s, the Oyo Empire began to crumble from within. Civil wars broke out between rival factions. The powerful provincial rulers grew more independent, challenging the authority of the Alaafin. Meanwhile, neighboring enemies sensed weakness. The kingdom of Dahomey, once tributary of Oyo, broke free and struck back. From the north, the Fulani jihadis launched invasions, disrupting trade and weakening the empire further. By the 1830s, the once mighty Oyo Empire had disintegrated, leaving behind only traces of its former glory. Though it fell nearly 2 centuries ago, the legacy of Oyo still lives on. Its military structure, political systems, and cultural traditions helped shape the identity of the Yoruba people today. The story of Oyo challenges the false narrative that Africa had no civilization before colonization. It proves that African people built powerful states, led great armies, and governed with wisdom and strategy. The Oyo Empire was a warrior kingdom, but it was also a political genius, an economic hub, and a cultural force. Its story reminds us of what was and what could be again. If we study our past with pride, we may yet reclaim the future. Subscribe to the African Lens for more forgotten stories, powerful histories, and bold questions about Africa's past and future. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below.